Hey guys, it's Jessica, and today I'm going to share with you products that I tried in sample size and I fell in love with them. Most of these I've already all of these but one I've already bought again in full size, but I originally tried it as a sample and fell in love. And I feel like this is rare. Like, I feel like a lot of us, we get sample sizes and we're like, oh, this is so exciting. I'm just kidding. I feel like every time I get sample sizes, I'm like, ugh. Like, why? Why do I have such a stigma against small, tiny things? I know some people just love, they're like, oh, they're so cute. I'm just like, we'll see if I try it. And then it goes in my travel drawer. But these are all products I ended up trying and loving and ended up buying the full size. I've seen a couple of other YouTubers do this. And I usually like type it into my note, like of filming ideas, who did it. I don't remember, but I will find who, if I can find who I originally saw it from, I will link it below. But it's floating around. I think this is just such a fun idea. So, and a great way that if you happen to have these sample sizes to actually give them a try. So let's start with my most recent love that I've fallen in love with. And this is the one I have not bought yet in full size. And actually, I think it's sold out. Let me look real fast. Yes. Okay, it's not sold out. I feel like it was the last time I checked. But this is the Peter Thomas Roth Skin to Die For No Filter Mattifying Primer and Complexion Perfector. Okay. There's a story behind this. This I got in my Sephora play from like last month or 2 months ago, depending on when you're watching this. And I was like, oh, interesting. And so it's saying, you know, focus on your pores, your fine lines, your imperfections. I'm like, there are a million pore filling primers out there. But because Peter Thomas Roth is more of a skincare brand, I was really intrigued to try it because I was like, well, maybe it's actually better for my skin though. And anytime I can put something on my skin before I'm putting foundation and everything on that's good for it, I feel good about myself. You know, I'm like, okay, yes, I'm protecting my skin. It says it gives long-term benefits, aura spheres and Grancil EP9, instantly blur, fill, and reduce the look of pores, fine lines. I freaking love this stuff. So the full size is $28. I am planning on buying this. Let me add it to my loves. It's just this kind of beige color. It works for any skin tone. It doesn't matter because it's essentially translucent once you blend it in. But there's something about this that's different. It's silkier than any primer I've ever used, but in a very different way. It's not like the thick silicone-y velvety primers that I've used in the past that I feel like it's okay. My nose, everything breaks down on it. So I put this on for the second time maybe a few weeks ago, and I put just foundation on, whatever. My dad was over and he looked at me and he said, Jessica, your skin looks so smooth today. I'm like, thanks. Like, he's never, you know, what a weird specific compliment. And he said, it just like everything, it just looks so smooth. And I'm like, thank you. And so I'm thinking through, I'm like, what in the world did I use? Like, that's a nice compliment. It was this. It was a foundation I've used a million times. I don't even remember which one it was, honestly. I feel like it was this because that's where I'd put it. And oh my gosh. So because of that, I'm all in. I've been using this for weeks and I really do feel like it helps hold foundation into my nose and these areas, and especially up here where I've got little fine lines. Really, really nice primer. I'm so excited. I've got the Clinique Take the Day Off Cleansing Balm. I'd originally tried this in sample size. This is almost empty. I actually refilled this tiny one for when I travel. It's one of my favorite cleansing makeup removing balms because you just get a little bit, you put it on dry skin and it just breaks everything down. Then you get water, you introduce water to it and it just kind of rinses off. Then I go in with just a cleanser to get off any last remnants that might be there. But it does such a great job of removing my eyeliner and my mascara and all of that. I just really, really like it. It doesn't have a scent, which I actually do like. I mean, maybe it's a slight scent. I don't know. I really don't think this one has a scent. I think I might have refilled this now that I'm saying that with the It Cosmetics By My Makeup because I needed to travel with some and that's all I had, so I just refilled it with this. But it's really, really nice. It is, and I feel like it's actually not crazy expensive in the realm of cleansing balms that actually work. So they have a 1 ounce tub, so this is half an ounce. They have a 1 ounce tub that's $9.50, and then they have a 3.8 that's $29. So I guess it is more expensive than I thought. I swear they had a size in between that was like 19, but I guess not. Anyway, I really, really like this, and I'm so glad I discovered it. That's something I've repurchased probably like 5 different times. Next product that I fell in love with from the sample is the Belif Moisturizing Eye Balm. I just recently bought this and I'm so glad I did. Like, I bought the full size. It's a really nice eye cream. I use this at night. I could totally use it during the day too. I just end up using a different one because I keep what I use at night in my bathroom and I keep what I use during the day in here. So it's just easy to have 2 different ones. Super moisturizing, kind of a gel-like bouncy formula, and so I just kind of bounce it in that region, and I just feel like my under eye is like, oh, thank you know, after a long day, you've been wearing makeup, you've been out and about in the elements. I just feel like it feels so nice. And so that leads me into the other Belif product I fell in love with. This is their True Cream Moisturizing Balm. I'm completely out. There's like a tiny bit left. I used this up and finally was like, okay, Jessica, you just need to buy it again. Or buy like the full size. And I already have, and I've already gone through that, so I need to buy it again. Amazing moisturizer. Again, you could use this during the day before makeup or at night. Have only been using it at night. Super moisturizing. Again, gel-like, but deeply moisturizing. And if you're like me, normal to dry, I think you'll really, really like it, because I feel like I wake up the next day and my skin is like actually moisturized. It doesn't look dry and gross. It actually looks like it's still moisturized from the night before. Another product I'd originally fallen in love with from the sample is the Sunday Riley Good Genes. It's just so good, you guys. It's a lactic acid kind of chemical exfoliant type treatment. So it's deeply doing things for your skin. It's just reviving it. This is another sample I got in something. I don't even know where. I think it was like a 100-point perk from Sephora. But regardless, I have the full size. Now this one, in all fairness, they sent to me the full size. I had been planning on buying it because I'd already gone through like a little half-ounce sample, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna bite the bullet and buy it. But then they sent it to me and I like cried and threw up, and I was so excited. Regardless, I will buy it again, even still, when I run out of that with my own money, because it's so, so, so good. It's so good, and I'm actually really excited to have this teeny tiny sample. How many ounces? It's so tiny. Yeah, 0.17 fluid ounces. Because even with traveling, like I do it every few days. I think you can do it every day if your skin can handle it. I just do it every 2 or 3 days because I feel like it revives my skin. It helps with the cell turnover. So, you know, the dead stuff is just getting off of there. And you don't need any physical exfoliant to do that for you when you're using something like this. At least I don't. So I really love this. Definitely fell in love with it. I wish it were cheaper. And then another trial size I fell in love with is the YSL Touche Eclat Blur Primer. I fell in love with this little thing, and I'd actually used it all up. I've since refilled this with my full size from YSL. This is the full size, so I'm about halfway-ish through this. But I fell in love with it originally here, and I don't even remember where. Again, maybe it was a point perk. I don't know how I got this. But it's, again, a very smoothing primer, very skin smoothing primer. I feel like it does a great job holding on to foundation. I love traveling with this because I feel like my foundation actually stays on while we're sightseeing and going out to eat and grabbing drinks. I can put this on and know that my foundation's actually gonna stay, and I don't need to bring 3 other primers. I can just bring this. So a really nice primer. Now, it's expensive for the full size. Do I really think you need to go out and buy it? No, honestly, I think that, well, I know this is cheaper, and I might like this even more, honestly. So just depends on your preference and your price range you're comfortable spending, but both are great. So those are all of the ones I can think of. Oh, I have one more. The Kiehl's Midnight Recovery Eye. I don't have it anymore. I have the full size, but I actually gave it to Tyler because he needed an eye cream. It's a long story. I was trying a new eye cream, and oh, well, actually, it's the Belif one. I'm using the Belif one, and I love the Kiehl's Midnight Recovery Eye, but he needed one, so I gave it to him. Anyway, I'd originally tried that in a sample size. I remember traveling with it to Chicago in like the middle of winter, and it was so cold. And I used it on my under eye in the morning and at night, and I loved it. So I ended up buying the full size and loving it as well. It's thicker than the Belif, so I like to use it more in the winter time. I think it's just a little bit, I don't know that it's necessarily more hydrating. I just think it's just that more luxurious, thick kind of a cream, if that's what you prefer. So it's really, really nice. I really, really like it. I so recommend that. I'm just trying the Belif one right now while I have the full size, and I'm loving that too. So those were all of the products that I had in sample size, fell in love with them, and ended up buying again in full size for the most part. If you enjoyed this kind of video, definitely give it a thumbs up so I know, and subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.